In this video, we are going to talk about 5 of the coolest watches money can buy for under 1000 Swiss francs. And I also put together something special to kick off the year, which I'll share with you a bit later. There are 3 main reasons why I love collecting micro brands. First, I love to buy watches from people I know or have met in person. Second, they offer fun and well-proportioned designs, excellent for daily wear and travel. And third, I love to see them grow, and I'll always feel like I'm part of the growth once I buy one of their watches. For today's video, I chose 5 models from 5 different brands. And there's a special offer for you, which we'll talk about a bit later in the video. So stick around, it's definitely worth it. The first watch I will show you is the new Baltic Aquascaphe MKII, a redesign of the original Aquascaphe, which came out back in 2018, being one of their best sellers. I own the older GMT version of the Aquascaphe for years now, and it is my go-to travel watch if I'm going to places where I know I'm gonna be swimming. I'm very biased when it comes to Baltic, because I currently own 6 in my personal collection, the biggest amount of watches of any brand I own. It's a brand I suggest you look into. Last year in 2025, the Aquascaphe line got a revamp, an improvement of sorts, but on a micro level, like if you're comparing different Porsche models. For one, you can now choose between 2 sizes, 37 and 39.5. The legibility of the dial on the new MKII is better. The original ones were in more vintage inspired and slightly slimmer. The overall finishing of the case is better, with sharper edges, more defined brushing and slightly wider lugs. The spirit stayed the same though, so wearing it won't feel much different. I would just say it feels more modern. The dial features a rich deep blue color with a slight grain on it, with minimal descriptions. There's the Baltic logo at 12 o'clock and the model name and depth information at 6 o'clock. The hour markers are all applied on the dial, making them seem like they hover. Because they are thick and filled with luminova, the legibility once the lights goes out is excellent. The bezel features a similar if not the same color as the dial. It's covered by sapphire, making it resistant and very legible at the same time, with a smooth 120 click full rotation. The glass on top is domed sapphire crystal with internal anti-reflective coating, so you won't scratch off the upper layer. The crown of course is screwed in with the Baltic B logo on it. The grip is excellent, which makes winding very enjoyable. The case back is engraved with a fun wavy cross pattern, and it protects the automatic movement inside. The watch houses a Miyota 1939 automatic with 42 hours of power reserve and stop seconds. A highly tested and reliable movement, and fair for this price. On the wrist, the Baltic Aquascaphe is very comfortable, especially with this rubber strap. The 316L steel case measures 39mm in diameter, 47mm lug to lug, and 13mm thickness. 11mm if you don't count the domed sapphire crystal. The price for either the 37 or the 39.5mm is the same, coming in at 630 euros or approximately 590 Swiss francs. Earthen&Co is the new kid on the block, launched last year in 2025, but don't let that fool you. The founders of the brand are established and seasoned watch collectors. I have known about the brand long before it launched, and I haven't really understood it until I saw it in person. The whole case is made out of ceramic. Yes, it's a material which is usually found in more expensive watches. The first ones that come to mind are Audemars Piguet, Girard-Perregaux, and also obviously Rado. When I went to Hong Kong to shoot videos for my channel, the ones which were launched already, I met up with Jonathan, he's one of the co-founders of the brand, and he showed me all the models. I particularly liked this Summit Overcast Mark II version because I love the stealthy look of the watch. There is no secret that the watch takes inspiration from daily adventure watches, especially the IWC Mark XI and the Rolex 369 Explorer. What I particularly like about this model is 1, how well executed it is for the first watch model, and second, the finishing on the ceramic case. Because Jonathan collects watches made by independent watchmakers like Sylvain Pinot, Urwerk, Laurent Ferrier and others, he developed an eye for quality finishing, which is visible on the case, with some parts being brushed and others polished. The matte black dial is extremely legible, made to be visible in low light with thick hands, as well as bold numbers. The other parts are kept a bit more simple, with the Earthen&Co logo at 12 o'clock and their emblem at 6 o'clock. I love this particular small detail. The counterweight of the seconds hand hovers perfectly above the emblem of the Earthen&Co logo. This made me always stop and look at the watch just so I can capture this moment. When I saw the crown in pictures, I wasn't really convinced, until I saw and used it in person. It's a big crown with ridges to improve the grip and extremely satisfying to use. It's also screwed down to protect the movement from any water, moisture or dust coming in. The case back is closed, as most watches are, featuring a few inscriptions. The Summit Overcast Mark II is powered by the same movement as the Baltic Miyota 9039 automatic, so we got 42 hours of power reserve and a tested movement, which is gonna stand the test of time. On the wrist, it's perfect, only 38mm in diameter, with a lug-to-lug of 45mm and a thickness of only 10mm, including the sapphire crystal. The price, something which might surprise you for a ceramic watch, is only 714 Swiss francs. I think it's a good deal for the look, and don't forget, there's a special offer in today's video, so stay tuned. Next, we're diving 300 meters deep into the ocean with the Zelos Mako 300M diver. This is one of the coolest dials I've recently seen on a diver watch. Falcon's Eye is a stone which is formed deep under the Earth's surface. It forms when blue mineral fibers slowly get replaced by quartz over millions of years, keeping their shape and creating that shimmery effect you see here. I love the use of the stone because it looks like the watch has a very deep blue dial. But once you step on the sun and the light hits it, the Falcon Eye really pops out and shows its true colors and beauty. I love Zelos, guys. We've shown their watches on the channel a few times and it always resonates with you. The founder Elshan is a cool guy from Singapore and he loves using materials which you don't find in watches at these price points. Materials like Damascus, meteorite, carbon and many others. This is clearly a diver watch, so the dial is up to par. An extremely legible dial with big applied hour markers and a thick seconds hand tip, with a hint of yellow at the end to improve legibility. There's also a splash of yellow color for the 300 meters depth marking. What you almost don't notice is the date window at 6 o'clock. It's very well camouflaged into the dial using similar color tone as the Falcon's Eye stone. I personally prefer diver watches with no date windows, but this works. The watch has extensive luminova on the hour markers, hands and even the bezel. But the coolest part for me though is the luminova on the crown, where the Zelos emblem illuminates like crazy. The blue sapphire bezel has a nice click to it, robust and sturdy as it should be. The case is also well designed and finished. There is brushing on top of the lugs and on the side, as well as a polished line going through the middle, just enough to elevate it. The bracelet is brushed for the most parts, with polished edges to make it look less bulky. The deployment clasp is easy to use, standard procedure here. The case back is closed off, something which is pretty consistent with the watches I chose to show you today. It features an engraved picture of a short fin Mako shark, hence the model name Mako. To stay consistent with the movement so far, this watch also features a Miyota movement, the automatic caliber 9015 with 42 hours of power reserve and hacking seconds. On the wrist, it's a bit harder than the Baltic, with a thickness of 14.8mm including the sapphire crystal. The case diameter is 40mm and lug-to-lug it measures 47mm. The price is great, costing only approximately 435 Swiss francs. Brew is another watch brand that I love to wear every now and then for traveling. I own the green dial Retromatic since 5 years and I still love to wear it now and then. One of the reasons I love micro brands is because of the people behind them, and Brew is a prime example of that. I met Jonathan Ferrer, the founder of Brew, a couple of times in Switzerland and also in the US, and he's always smiley and full of energy and passion. He loves designing and producing his watches, and this enthusiasm translated into the success of the company today. All of his watches are retro-inspired, featuring bracelets or straps. One of the latest ones that I really liked was the Metric Digital Blend, a hybrid watch with the analog dial on top and a 30-second espresso countdown timer below. This Metric Black Automatic PVD couldn't be stealthier, featuring a black PVD-coated stainless cushion-shaped steel case and comfortable retro bracelet. Although it's very stealthy and black, the dial still features high legibility. The retro hour markers are applied and very architectural. They feature polishing and brushing and a straight black line across the middle. The dial is kept pretty clean, with only the word automatic written at 6 o'clock with thin lettering. The embossed stealthy Brew logo at 12 o'clock is only visible at certain angles, almost like a nice little Easter egg. For me, the seconds hand steals the show. It's an excellent way to create more color dynamic on the dial. With its striking red lacquering and lollipop shape, it makes the look complete. On the sloped recut of the watch, you can read the 5-minute increments, so it all comes together very nicely. The cushion-shaped case is the right amount of retro and modern, and I love how the sapphire crystal fits to the brim. The bracelet is well made, vertically brushed, and has a nice shine once I play with the light a bit. This is the first automatic metric watch Brew has made, usually using mecha quartz for this model line. On the case spec you can see some inscriptions and next to it a window. Through it you can see the balance wheel of the Seiko NH35 beating steadily and the winding rotor moving around. It's a nice little detail. On the wrist the watch is comfortable due to the tapered bracelet and good proportions. The case size measures 36 by 41.5 mm and is only 10.75 mm thin, and for the price it comes in at approximately 408 Swiss francs. Last but not least, Nivada Grenchen is the watch company with the longest history here out of these 5 watches. It features something which I've never seen before, and I'll show you the fun feature in a bit. Nivada Grenchen is a historic Swiss watch brand originally founded in 1926 in Grenchen, Switzerland, which is approximately 1 hour from where I live. It built a reputation through the mid-20th century for robust, functional tool watches such as the Antarctic and Chronomaster Aviator Sea Diver. After a long hiatus following the quartz crisis, the brand was revived in 2018 under the leadership of Guillaume Ledet alongside Rémi Chabrat, focusing on faithful reissues of its classic models from modern audiences. Some models worth mentioning are also the Pac-Man, the F77 collection, as well as the Autochron. For today's video, I chose the blue Aquamar model because of the one quirky feature. The Aquamar model first saw the light of day all the way back in the 1960s. It was a so-called skin diver and still is, which is a term used for vintage style-inspired dive watches from the 1950s and 60s, made for casual or recreational swimming and snorkeling, rather than deep professional diving. But you see, the new model doesn't feature a date window. What they did here is very clever. They used the disc of the date wheel, which sits below the dial, to create what is essentially 2 looks or 2 moods. If you turn the crown in the first position, you can actually change the lume color. You can either choose white or beige patented lume, or you don't have to choose at all. Every day at midnight, when the date window would jump, here the lume color will automatically switch. I love the sandwich dial style of the hour markers. They're cut out and really look good in sunlight, or once the Luminova is fully charged. The Super Luminova can be found on the hour markers, the hands, as well as on the bezel. Even the lume dot on the bezel at 12 o'clock is illuminated. Other than that, the dial features the Nivada Grenchen logo shield at 12 o'clock and the SP inscription, which stands for Special Edition. The hour, minute and seconds hand are very retro, but at the same time very legible. The ceramic bezel offers more scratch resistance and it's bidirectional, very smooth to use and easy to turn. The lugs are brushed on the top and the case features a polished side profile. Very straightforward. The case spec is closed, featuring a fun penguin emblem, because back in the 1950s, Nivada Grenchen supplied watches to members of US Navy Operation Deep Freeze, the military scientific mission supporting Antarctic research. Those expeditions needed watches that could survive extreme cold, moisture and abuse. And since penguins are the animals of the Antarctica, it's a nod to their exploration watches. Behind the case spec you can find a so-called automatic movement with a 38-hour power reserve. On the wrist, the watch wears well. The case is 38mm and 12.9mm thick. The size proportions are very balanced and I love it on this brown leather strap. It adds to the vintage vibe. The price for this Nivada Grenchen Aquamar Blue is 985 Swiss francs. So it's the pricier of them all, but also it has some very cool features. So we looked at 5 watches from 5 different countries. Baltic from France, Earthen&Co from Hong Kong, Zelos from Singapore, Brew from the US, and Nivada Grenchen here from Switzerland. All solid options, all under 1000 Swiss francs. And here is something fun I wanted to do to kick off the year. I worked out a deal with these 5 watch brands. If you order one watch from any of them, you'll automatically be entered into a raffle to win a second watch. And the watch you can actually win is one of these 5, the exact pieces I used to make this video for you. So for example, buy any Baltic within the next 7 days and you could win this Aquascaphe MKII. Buy any Earthen&Co watch and you could win this black Summit Overcast. Same idea for the Zelos, Brew and Nivada Grenchen. After you purchase, just email the brand, mention SWG and say you use the link below so we can track it properly. All the details are also clearly explained in the description below. If anything is unclear, drop a question below as well and I'll help. Good luck and I can't wait to see who won.